Today, we're going to dive into and unlock one of the most, elegant and rewarding ways to make coffee right at home, the Chemex. If you've ever wanted to really elevate your morning ritual and get that amazing cafe-quality taste from your own kitchen, well, you're in the right place. We're about to show you exactly how.
Does this sound familiar? You go out, you buy these incredible coffee beans, but when you brew them, it feels like something just gets lost. You know? You're chasing that perfectly clean, super vibrant cup you get at a great coffee shop, but it just feels slightly out of reach. It's a really common problem, and the answer might just be sitting right in front of you.
And here it is, the Chemex. It's iconic, it's beautiful, and yeah, it can look a little intimidating, I get it. But this simple piece of glass, when you pair it with its special filter, is an absolute powerhouse for brewing an incredibly clean cup that just lets all those nuanced flavors of the coffee shine. So let's break it down, step by step.
Okay, first things first, we need to lay down our brewing blueprint. These are the core variables you've got to lock in if you want a consistent, delicious brew every single time. Get these right, and you're honestly 90% of the way there.
Let's kick things off with what is basically the golden rule of specialty coffee, the 1:16 ratio. It's simple. It just means for every 1 gram of coffee, you're going to use 16 grams of water. This is the perfect neutral starting point for pretty much any bean you can find. Next up, and this is a big one, your grind size. You're aiming for a medium coarse consistency. The best way to picture it, think about coarse sea salt or maybe kosher salt. That specific texture is so crucial because it controls how fast the water flows through the coffee, and that is the key to getting your extraction just right.
And what about your water? Well, your target temperature is right around 202 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the absolute sweet spot. It's hot enough to pull out all those delicious flavors, but it's not so hot that it's going to scorch the grounds and make everything taste bitter.
You know, the really great thing about this recipe is just how easily it scales. Whether you're making a single cup for yourself or a big old batch for friends, that 1:16 ratio holds steady. Think of this table as your cheat sheet. Just pick your dose and you'll know exactly how much water you need. Easy.
All right, now for the critical first pour. This step is called the bloom, and I'm telling you, it is absolutely essential for an even and delicious extraction. It's a total game changer, so whatever you do not skip this part.
So what exactly is the bloom? Well, when hot water first hits fresh coffee, it causes a rapid release of trapped carbon dioxide gas. The bloom is just a short pause to let all that gas escape. See, if you don't do this, those CO2 bubbles can actually push water away from the grounds, and that leads to an uneven and usually pretty sour cup of coffee.
And actually doing it? Oh, it's incredibly simple. Start your timer the second water hits the coffee. Pour about double the coffee's weight in water. So, for 20 grams of coffee, that's 40 grams of water. Gently spiral your pour to wet all the grounds and then just wait. For about 30 to 45 seconds, you'll see it bubble up and expand. That's the magic happening right there. All right, our coffee is bloomed and it's ready to go. It's time for section 3, mastering the main pour. This is where your technique really comes into play. The goal here is all about control, rhythm, and consistency. This timeline right here shows a great rhythm for, say, a 30-gram brew. Notice it's not one continuous pour, right? After the bloom, you'll start a steady spiral pour, and then you'll just maintain that water level with a few more smaller pours until you hit your final weight. The whole thing, from the very first pour to the final drip, should take somewhere between 3.5 and 4.5 minutes.
And here is a crucial tip for your technique. As you're pouring in those gentle spirals, try to avoid pouring water directly down the sides of the paper filter. Any water that goes down the side can totally bypass the coffee grounds, flowing straight into the pot and just watering down your final cup. We don't want that.
So you've done your first brew, but what if it's not quite perfect? Hey, don't worry about it. This next section is all about troubleshooting. It's about learning to read the signs your coffee is giving you so you can tweak things and make an even better cup next time.
This is probably the most common problem people run into. Your brew's taking forever to drain, like 5 minutes or more, and the result is just bitter, kind of harsh. This is a classic sign of over-extraction. It just means the water spent way too much time hanging out with the coffee.
So how do you fix it? It's usually one of two things. First, your grind is probably just a little too fine and it's clogging up the filter. So try going a little coarser next time. Second, and this is a sneaky one, the wet filter can sometimes create a vacuum seal against the glass. A simple trick is to just gently lift a corner of the filter to let some air in. That'll speed up the flow instantly. Now what about the opposite problem? The water just rushes through in under 3 minutes, and the coffee tastes kind of thin or sour, maybe even a little grassy. Well, that's under-extraction. The water just didn't have enough time to pull out all of those sweet, balanced flavors.
And the fix is exactly what you'd think. If the brew's too fast, you need to slow it down. It's that simple. Just adjust your grind to be a little bit finer for your next brew. This creates more resistance for the water and increases that all-important contact time.
And here's a great visual cue you can use before you even take a sip. After your coffee is done draining, take a look at the bed of used grounds in the filter. A perfectly flat bed? That's a great sign of a good, even pour and a balanced extraction. But if you see deep craters or a steep slope, it means your pour was probably a bit uneven and your extraction likely was too.
And that brings us to our final section, and really, the best part. You have the blueprint, you've got the technique, and now you have the troubleshooting guide. Your perfect cup is right there, waiting for you. Think of this not as the end of the instructions, but as the beginning of your journey.
This quote really gets to the heart of what makes brewing coffee so much fun. The recipe we've gone over today is a super reliable starting point, but every single coffee is different. So don't be afraid to tweak the variables. If a coffee tastes a little weak, hey, try a 1:15 ratio. If it's too intense, maybe try 1:17. Just play with it.
So you now have all the tools and the knowledge you need to take control of your coffee brewing and create something really, truly special. The only question left is, what will your perfect cup taste like? Go find out. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.